Hi everyone, how have you all been? Hope you've all been doing well. It's I've actually been away from the live stream last week and I was going to actually do another one, but I gotta say I got really swamped with a lot of work that I had to catch up on, so I actually didn't end up doing the extra live stream. But hey, it's okay, we're back now. I'll be able to answer any additional questions that you have that you maybe would have had for me last week. And yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about because we got a new Marvel movie that's been released, Captain America: Brave New World. So, with all that said, there's a lot to talk about with this movie, and even we got some box office numbers that we can talk about too. So yeah, oh, would you look at that? My mistake was supposed to start off like this first. I don't know why I jumped straight to the Captain America page. Big Bash says, how was the concert, Eric? It was really good. It was a really good concert. I've never been to a concert before. So going to the Avatar concert, that is one hell of a concert to start off with. And yeah, the Avatar concert, I had a great deal of fun. In fact, I actually managed to record a bit, and I'll actually show it to you guys. But I can't show it on YouTube, just in case. I'll put it on Patreon for you guys to see there. But don't worry, it'll be a free thing. All you gotta do is join as a free member, and then you'll be able to see the bit of the concert that I recorded. I actually recorded the final segment that they did, which was Secret Tunnel. And if you want, I'll tell you the story behind how I got that footage later on, because they did say you're not supposed to record in there, but something interesting happened, and that's why I ended up recording, and so I'll tell you that later on. So yeah, in the meantime, how you guys all been? Let's see. Did you meet any fans? Goat, I actually didn't, and I think that's because that was my bad. I think I let you guys know too late. So maybe you guys would have been more aware and would have seen me if I gave you plenty of heads up. But unfortunately, that was my bad. I didn't think about that until way later. So I think that was my bad. But it's okay. Well, I'll see if I can do some more meetups with you guys in the future. So don't worry about that. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today. Captain America: Brave New World, and we've even got some box office numbers as well. So, you know what? Give me a second. Let me actually add that to the title. I'll call it Box Office Week 1. There you go. The box office info. The box office information for Captain America: Brave New World only came out like literally about an hour ago or something, and I was a bit late to catch it, but we'll be able to talk about that. That'll be something definitely interesting to talk about. Alright, so we'll just wait for a few more people to come in on the stream, and then we'll get right to it. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting stuff that we can cover today about Captain America: Brave New World, and I'll discuss with you the box office performance as well for the movie. So let me just get my notes ready here. Yeah, here we go. There. So yeah, something interesting has happened with the box office numbers, by the way, for Brave New World. So I'll be able to... Give me a second there. So yeah, I'll show you those box office numbers soon, and we'll discuss them. They've actually got some good numbers going, I'd say. So yeah, let me just reposition this. There we go. All right. There. Okay, so let's see. Trevor says, also Eric, loved your voice in the latest video. Definitely agreed with everything you said. When you say loved my voice, do you mean you think the sound quality of my voice? You said loved your voice. Yeah, Time Shadow, maybe I could do a meet and greet at some point, but yeah, I have to consider where to do that and how we should do it. But yeah, a meet and greet sounds good. Josiah is not funny. He says, "Hey Eric, I watched Brave New World with my dad yesterday. I thought it was just okay. Not terrible, but not too impressive either." I'm working on my review for Brave New World, and I might potentially have more than just that one video for Brave New World as well. So be sure to wait, and you might get plenty of additional coverage for Brave New World. But I don't want to overwork myself, so we'll see how it goes. I'll give it some time first, and then I'll get the review out first, and then I'll see if I can do the other videos I'm planning on doing. Alright, so more of you have entered, so what we'll do is we'll now start getting to the stories. Now, as always... Oh, hi Miles, great to see you here. Batman's Gamer, Fireboy, Khan, Deadwolf, Key Wayne Hill, Rohan, Jess, Big Bash, The Time Shadow. Is great to see you here again. It really is wonderful to have all of you back on the stream. I have missed you. It's been a week, like I said, since we last did a stream. So I'm very happy that you guys are all back, and I'm back with you as well. So, oops-a-daisy, I'm stretching myself out there. I don't want to be doing that. Let's just add a little bit more here. There we go. Alright. So, Big Bash says, love the Moana versus video. Oh, I'm glad you did. These videos take me a long time to make, so I'm really glad you guys enjoy them, because they do take so much work and effort goes into them. So, yeah. Let's see. Time Shadow says, it's actually been 2 weeks since the last stream, hasn't it? Because there wasn't one last week. Yeah, there wasn't one. I was planning on doing it, but when I came back, I was so tired. And then a couple days later, I was going to plan on doing another one to make up for it, but then I had so much other work to do that I thought, you know what, let's just get that done first and see if I can, you know, get some extra work done. And I did, because you've gotten like 2 videos this week, haven't you? You got the Moana versus video, which I finished. You also got the video that I did just of Anthony Mackie and his latest statements, which I thought should not have been as controversial as they were. And then I was also working on a bunch of Patreon videos, so I'm watching and reacting. And you can see my whole reaction to Creature Commandos. And I've watched all the episodes and I'm putting them out now on Patreon for you guys to see. And it is a really good show. The first 2 episodes I was not a fan of. But with the 3rd episode I actually really enjoyed that. So be sure to check that out on my Patreon if you want to know my thoughts. And it will also be on YouTube memberships as well. I've created a new perk for that. And you guys will be able to check them out. And then I'll try to do more as well. Like I said, Nosferatu is something I'm going to watch, and it will be on my Patreon soon as well, when I watch that for the first time. Alright then, so, now you guys know the rules. When it comes to asking me questions, I'll only be able to answer questions later on. I won't be able to answer them when I'm telling you the stories, and the reason why is because I need to stay focused on the story at hand. So when I'm focused on the story at hand, I won't be able to answer any of your questions unless you do it through Streamlabs, which I've linked in the description and I've linked at the chat, or if you do a super chat. If you do that, I'll be able to answer your questions immediately. But if you don't, then you're gonna have to wait for the Q&A, which will be towards the end of the video, of the live stream. So yeah, if you have any questions, remember that's the way you submit them, and I'll answer them immediately. Alright, so with that said, let's talk about this right here. Now, Captain America Brave New World has not had a very welcoming reception from critics, at least. You can see over here on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 246 reviews, and it's got a 50%. 50% for a movie at Marvel. I was actually surprised, because if you remember, the Marvels got a 60% somehow, which I thought was just a crazy high score for a movie that was so mediocre. But with Captain America Brave New World, they actually gave it quite harsh reviews, which is interesting because I've seen the movie, and I will just tell you, it's not as bad as the Marvels, for example, or Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. But that being said, those movies I feel like were more forgiving. Certainly with the Marvels, they were very forgiving with the score. Like I said, they gave it a 60%. So for this to go even lower, in fact it debuted in the 40s, and now to pretty much end at 50%, which is where it looks like it's ending, you know, its Rotten Tomatoes number, that is actually quite harsh. And I'm not telling you if I agree with it or not, but going by Rotten Tomatoes standards, that is quite surprisingly low. You'd think that, given how Rotten Tomatoes has been so forgiving of these mediocre MCU movies, that this one, you'd think it would actually get more views. Sorry, not more views, a higher score. But it hasn't. I thought it would probably get, based off of seeing the movie, I have seen the movie and my review is coming. Based on what I've seen, I thought this would honestly get something like a 63% or something. Maybe even by Rotten Tomatoes standards, a 75. Because like I said, they gave The Marvels a 60. But no, this is actually significantly lower. And that is genuinely surprising. Now, it didn't just end there. It also got a cinema score. And the cinema score, if I bring it up right here. Here we go, let's see. Here. It's got a cinema score, a B minus. Damn it. Let me just... There you go. A B minus cinema score. For a Marvel movie, that has never happened. It's never gotten a B minus before. And by the way, apologies for not importing that. I don't know why the editing, these live stream software would not import this image, so I had to show it to you from my phone. But yeah, it's got a B minus cinema score. That's actually the lowest for an MCU movie. Several other Marvel movies have gotten like a B, but a B minus is like, wow, that means that audiences, just your average audience that went to go see this movie and took a poll when they came out, they said they didn't like it. A B minus might sound like, well, that's not terrible, but as far as other movies that get scores from cinema scores with these grades, trust me, a B minus is really quite low for this kind of thing. That's even a lower score than I think The Flash got, and The Flash did not get a good cinema score. So, yeah, a lot of people, even critics, seem to be turning on this movie, which is funny because critics are usually the ones that say if you don't like the movie, they'll usually be the one, some of the people to point fingers at you and say, well, it's because you're a racist or something. But for them to actually drop the score here, going off of their logic, that must mean they're super racist or something like that. But oh, Batman's Gamer says The Flash got a D. Oh wow, The Flash got a D. I swear I saw that and it got, it didn't get that? Wow. Just shows you what's going on with my memory. Cinema score. It says got a B in cinema score. Oh, I swear that it said B before. The Flash, and it's tied for worst. It's tied for the worst. The Flash has been awarded a B. Yeah. The Flash didn't get a D. It was Joker that got a D. The Flash did get a B on Cinema Score. Yeah, it was Joker that got a D. See, I had to check. I had to look that up. But yeah, here I'll show you. There you go. It's got a B. I'm certain it was Joker 2 that got a D. Let's just quickly take a look at that. Joker 2, Cinema Score. Yep, there you go. It was Joker 2 that got a D. So, yeah, that was what it is. Oh, Jess says Kraven the Hunter got a D. Wow. So, well, that shows you where Joker and Kraven the Hunter both meet. But yeah, the movie, I'll say this. It is reshot to hell and back. So if anyone says that, oh, that those reshoots rumors are wrong, well, here's the thing. Those reshoot rumors might have come from unreliable people, but they were not false. You can watch the movie and you can just tell where all the reshoots are. Especially, there's a scene later on in the movie, at the very end, where Sam Wilson is talking to Red Hulk, and you can tell that was a reshoot because behind him, they just green screened, they put him in a green screen and they tried to green screen him in to previously recorded footage with his friends behind him. And I was like, you can tell they just reshot that. So this movie has gone through so many reshoots, and there's one point where Sam is talking to Ross, and it doesn't. His voice sounds completely different. It sounds like they recorded him and did a voiceover later on in post-production, then added it in. So you can tell that there was a lot of stitching this movie together in post. That's just so obvious when you're watching this movie. And yeah, it's a it's actually a big problem because when you're watching the movie, there's so many times you're like, that don't make sense, that don't make sense, that was edited awkwardly, and this was also an awkward decision, and this feels like it doesn't make sense. Oh, and that it feels like you over-explained it, something that we already know. So you can tell that they were just scrambling to try to make this a watchable movie. So all those rumors about how badly this movie was with test audiences and everything, how it scored very badly, I have no choice but to believe them. Because when you watch the movie, it very much plays like a movie that went through various iterations because they just knew that it wasn't working ahead of time. And there was also a crew member that came out, kind of like a whistleblower in a way. And the crew member even said that, yeah, all of us crew members, we all knew this movie was probably not going to be any good because there was a lot of trouble on the set. And apparently Harrison Ford was a diva on set, and they had to walk around, the crew had to walk around, treat him like they were walking around eggshells. So there's a lot of problems that were going on. Even the director, this project was too big for him to handle. So yeah, it just seems like the typical Marvel problems, really, is that they just hire these inexperienced directors. They bring on these people to shoot all these scenes, which in the end are going to be thrown away in the bin anyway, in the garbage and the trash, and they're going to start reshooting these scenes and then giving them back to their VFX artists. It's a complete mess of a structure that Marvel have going on, and they really need to fix it because it is not good. So yeah, huge problem with this movie. There was so much talk about this movie doing bad, and now with the crew member that's come out, there was a lot of problems with this movie, and with all the reshoots and everything. This is a big problem. We knew the movie was going to go through issues, but I think for Marvel, now that they see such a low score like this, like a B-, that's lower than The Flash on Cinema Score, it's going to really put some fear into them. And I think this possibly might taint the Fantastic Four. If people go in and see how bad this movie is, it probably will taint the Fantastic Four, and people will be like, yeah, you know what, we're not gonna bother watching that movie. I think because there are a lot of people that have said this is the last straw for them. But we'll see. Alright, so now it's time to talk about the box office for Captain America Brave New World. And I was having problems with my editing software, with my live stream software, to try and bring the box office numbers in, but let me just try again. For some reason... Oh, hold on a second, people. Give me a minute. Let's see if I can try it again and if it will work this time. Okay. Okay, let's see. Can it come in? Oh, there we go. It works seamlessly now. I don't know why it didn't work seamlessly before. Alright, here goes. Alright, time to take a look at the box office numbers, and I've actually got the visuals to show you guys. Alright, now, I'm going to show you in parts. I'm going to slowly reveal it. So, the domestic box office is $88.5 million. That is actually pretty good, and that is ahead of the studio estimates, which were saying about 60 million, like in that kind of range, 60 to 70 or something. So this is above those estimations, but compared to what Marvel would usually do, as far as domestic openings go, because you expect better from Marvel, especially with however much this movie cost, which, trust me, was not $180 million. So that's the domestic box office in America. Everywhere else around the world, the international box office, it actually fared just a few million higher. The international box office is $92.4 million. So that's just about $4 million higher, just under $4 million higher than what America had done. But that's international. Normally internationally you can get some even bigger numbers because that's the rest of the world. But yeah, it stopped at 92.4. And I will say, all this flack we've been giving the movie, if you take a look at this overall number, $180 million worldwide. That's actually a pretty good looking number just to start off with. But here's the thing, it all comes down to budget, and the movie's budget was not $180 million. Like I said, I've seen the movie, and I know, you could just see the reshoots as you're watching the film. So there is no way this movie cost $180 million. That, like I said in my previous video, that is probably the initial budget for the movie was $180 million. But with all the reshoots and the rewrites and everything, the whole production like hell that this movie was going through, that had to massively increase the budget. But Marvel are not giving us proper numbers. They are deliberately fudging the numbers or not giving us the full numbers because they know if the real numbers came out and this box office number came out, it would make them look bad. Also, even though this is actually a good number, excuse me, even though this is a good number, you gotta keep in mind, what's the second weekend box office going to be? Because Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania had a pretty good turnout for the first week, but then on the second week, the box office number went down. I think it was like 69%. That is a massive drop. Could the same drop happen for Captain America Brave New World? That is the question right there. So, this is a good debut, but like with many bad movies now, those debuts can just fall like, you know, all the way down on the second week and even the third week. So that's what we're going to have to really wait and see. That's a pretty decent number. And if Marvel actually managed to fool you into thinking the budget for this really was $180 million, then yes, you would look at this and think, oh, they're doing pretty good. But trust me when I say, this movie probably has to make $500-600 million, maybe even more, to break even. Because this went massively over budget. And even reports came from the crew member on the inside. He said that the director went over budget on this film. So that basically means that this movie has gotten really over budget, in the fact that even the crew member knows it and said that yes, it went over budget. So I really hope we can find out what the overall budget is. So I really hope that we find out what the overall budget is soon enough. Maybe when their UK tax returns come out. But yeah, this number looks good, but I don't think this is going to win them their money back, basically, for how much they put into this movie. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Oh, Elite, I'm doing great, thanks, bud. What do you guys think of this movie in general? What do you think? Have you seen the movie? Did you notice the reshoots when you were watching the film? And what do you think the second weekend box office is going to be? Do you think it's going to be able to maintain itself? Or do you think it's just going to continue to spiral down and just stay at an all-time low? I think it's going to spiral down. That's what my guess would be. Kevin, buddy, is 71. It's great to see you here too. Thank you to everyone who joined the stream, by the way. But let's see. $5 super chat from Kevin, who says, on 2/4/1817, lives were taken away by a psycho at FL Livin. FL Livin? That state, and I think about it every 2nd of February, 14th of February. I'm glad that me, my family, and friend are still okay, and we must be better always. Buddy, you know I can normally read your super chats when you do that, but this time I'm struggling. If you could rephrase it for me, I'd appreciate that. Jess has done a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Jess. Jess says, Falcon looks like A-Train from The Boys. That is actually kind of funny. I never thought of that. Falcon does look like A-Train from The Boys, doesn't he? They both have goggles on too, don't they? Falcon and A-Train. Who else thinks that Falcon and A-Train have got a resemblance? I never noticed that before. Daredevil Born Again and Fantastic Four better win their audience back. This is a movie from Norway called Armageddon. Called Sparmageddon, you heard. I don't know about that last one, buddy, but I will say that Daredevil Born Again and Fantastic Four, I don't know if that can win audiences back. Even if it's amazing, I don't think it can win audiences back, because it's just that the trust has been lost with Marvel. Not to mention that we've still got Ironheart coming out this June and Thunderbolts this May. So it does seem like we're going to be getting some more like mediocre and potentially even crappy Marvel coming our way. So I don't know if Daredevil and Fantastic Four will win people over. And I don't think that they will be good enough to win people over. So we'll have to wait and see to know for sure, but that's what I think. Let's see. And thanks, buddy, for the $5 super chat. And also, King of the Monsters 2021 has dropped a super chat too. He says, Eric, you haven't replied to my comment in the last video. What's up with that? Well, I've been very, very busy. I've not responded to a lot of comments. I've responded to a few of them, but if you see the videos that I'm working on right now, you'll know why. I'm working on... Yesterday, I actually caught a bit of a bug, so I was actually script writing my Captain America Brave New World review and taking a bunch of sleep. I had one of those things where you feel like you're a bit woozy and you feel like your head has got a bunch of weight on one side to it. So I was struggling to write the script, hence my review is not out yet. So I was doing that yesterday, and then today I got back to writing the script, and I've pretty much finished it at this point. And I've also potentially got 2 other scripts for 2 other Captain America Brave New World videos that I was working on as well. So that's why I was not able to respond to King of the Monsters. It's nothing personal, whatever it is. It's just that I've been busy, and I also fell a bit ill yesterday. And even today I've been trying to recover a bit from it, which I'm mostly better now. But yeah, that's the reason why. Nothing personal. So yeah. Let's see. Khan says, actually, now you say it, I could see it. The reshoots. You could see the reshoots for this movie. Let's see. I was like, a lollipop? Seriously? Bring back cigars, you wusses. Yeah, Ross has a lollipop, and he says it's supposed to be to help him with his condition or something. I will say, Harrison Ford made it work. In Marvel, that looks like a dumb joke, but Harrison Ford didn't make it look that way, the way he was holding it and everything. So I will say that. Actually, now you say it, I could see it. Oh, I already read that. Hi, guys. Oh, Saeed. Saeed, we're all doing good. How about yourself? Khan says, I watched the movie, Eric, and I noticed a lot of problems with it, especially at the editing part. But overall, the movie itself was very generic and forgettable, and the CGI, as expected, looked really bad in some places. Yes, it did. The CGI... I will say, Marvel have had some really bad CGI over their last several movies, but this one definitely took the cake. I don't know how they made the green screen look as bad as they did in some of these parts. It was most likely down to reshoots. That's why the movie looks like it was just so inconsistent with its quality. Some shots look good, but then there's others that look terrible. And I think a big reason to do with that is the reshoots. And if you take a look at the scene, this is a scene I want you to look out for when you're watching Brave New World. And for those of you that have seen the movie, you might already know it. It's the scene where Sam Wilson is talking to Red Hulk after the big battle. You'll look at Falcon and you'll be able to see that it's so obviously a green screen that they've put him through, that they've put him in, and they've reshot this scene. And behind him, the blur that they use is such a basic blur effect that you get in even the most basic software. It's surprising how cheap that insertion was. It was such an obvious little addition that they did. It was a reshoot, an obvious reshoot, and it looked so bad when they did that. And also, the dialogue they gave him, that little speech, blimey, that was so bad. That was just embarrassing. It felt like they wrote that speech like in about 2 minutes. It wasn't heartfelt or anything. It was a very bad speech. Joshman says, I have a strange feeling that the second weekend for Captain America 4 is going to really have a massive drop-off for box office-wise, just like Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania was. That's what I think. I think it's off to a good start right now, but I don't think it's going to be able to maintain that momentum. However, it is February, and I don't think there are any big movies coming out this month. So technically, it has... So who knows? Maybe people will feel like, well, there's nothing else to watch. I guess we'll have to go see Captain America. So maybe that's what will happen. Caesar, great to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. Trevor says, did Disney or Marvel even learn their lesson or even take notes from Godzilla -1's budget and effects? They don't take note and learn lessons from even like the budget of other movies, like budgets from movies like, say, The Batman or The Penguin Show, which looked very cinematic but was nowhere near as a big budget. They don't pay attention to any of these budgets. Here's the thing, Marvel and Disney, I don't know what their problem is, but they're in the business to make money, But they make all these stupid decisions where they just lose money. It's like you could have sworn that's their goal. In fact, we'll be talking about Disney losing money later on in this stream, because one of the stories we're going to talk about is just Disney Plus and what happened to it. Oh, Filmmaker Steven says, Eric, do they get Red Hulk right or not? That's a difficult question to answer. I will say, just wait for my review. I don't want to give too much away in this live stream, but wait for the review and you'll get more information as to what I thought of the movie. Let's see. Khan says, after what they did with the husband, deserve losing all that subscribers. What do you mean with the husband after doing all they did? Eric, you recognize anything? I don't know. Oh, Jonah White has donated £3.97. Through Streamlabs he did that, by the way, so YouTube doesn't take a single cut from that, and he got his name to show up on the screen as well. So if anyone wants to get have their name pop up on the screen with that sound effect and everything, then all you gotta do is donate through, like I said, Streamlabs. Okay, so let me read your question. Jonah White says, I never understood the controversy with Mackie's statement about Captain America. I agree. Also, I briefly heard you bring up the controversy with the Ruth character from this Captain America. Could you clarify what happened? It seemed like her scenes were cut. I don't know if her scenes were cut, to be honest with you. I think they just poorly integrated her from the get-go. Because it feels like a lot of these characters, it feels like you could write them all out. There's not a real character arc going through. Here's the thing. In the whole movie, there is no character arc. There's no character arc for Sam Wilson. At least I couldn't see a character arc for him. There was no character arc for the new Black Widow. There was no character arc for the new Falcon. There was no character arc for, like, even the villains that were in the movie. The only character that I feel like did get an arc was Ross. Now, Ross gets an arc because he goes through a change at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. And no, I'm not talking about Red Hulk. I mean, in terms of character, he goes through a change. But I don't buy that change, because if you know who Thunderbolt Ross is from Captain America Civil War and The Incredible Hulk and all these movies we've seen him in, you'd know that a lot of this does not match his character and his attitude. It very much felt like Harrison Ford was playing a different character or a completely different version of Ross. It didn't feel like the same Ross that we've been seeing this whole time, and I really think a big part of that is to do with the writing. The writing for this movie was actually very lackluster, to the point that Ross didn't feel like Ross, not just because of the recasting, but just in terms of writing. Ross would not say or do these things. On top of that, every character in this movie, like I said, aside from Ross, got no arcs, and that I feel like really... I think that's to do with reshoots. I think that's to do with writing, that all these characters didn't really get anything. And that really is a shame, because I feel like there was the makings of a great movie here. Like, you'll see my review and I'll talk about the potential that this film had. When I upload my review, you'll see there's a lot of potential here and there were some interesting elements. But there comes a point in the movie where they just drop the ball on all those elements, and all of a sudden the movie just becomes that kind of MCU movie. And it really is, like I said, a shame. It is a shame. It's like they could have had something special or something cool, but they instead decided to do all of the silly Marvel-isms instead. And that was a big issue for me. That was a big problem. And it was something that I think, as you've seen the cinema score for this movie, it's a problem that many people seem to have. So, yeah, I really think this is not going to be good for Marvel. I think the next week they're going to have a massive plunge in terms of box office attendance, which is kind of what happened with Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. And I think that they're going to panic with this one. I think they already knew this one wasn't going to do good. In fact, if they watch, like I said, with Ironheart, that is also coming out this June, the month of my birthday of all times. And that movie, that show, you can also tell, is going to flop for them. And I don't think Thunderbolts is going to move the needle forward for them either, because it's basically a cast full of characters that are rejects, essentially, that did not take off the way Marvel wanted them to. So yeah, Brave New World, Gary, great to see you here, buddy. He says, Brave New World copied Civil War, especially with his villain and his motivation. I'm trying to think. Zemo had a very specific motivation, and it was really just to get the superheroes to fight each other, basically. What the motivation for this villain? You find out first there was a personal reason for it, but then the villain says that he wants to essentially start World War III. So it goes from a personal level to wanting to start World War III, and that really was quite surprising. It really was, I gotta say. I was like, how do you go from wanting to get revenge on a certain person to then wanting to start World War III? That was crazy. That was. Gregory, it's great to see you, buddy. Hope you've been good. Let's see. Gregory says... Oh, where did Gregory's comment go? It just disappeared. Oh, where is it? There it is. Eric, what did you think of the movie? I'm honestly not going to see it in theaters. Well, Gregory, I'm going to upload my review soon. I pretty much finished the script today. I got sick yesterday, so I was able to write some of the script, not all of it. But I wrote the rest of the script today, and I just need to go over it, make a few drafts and go over it. But ultimately, the script is ready. I'll start working on my review soon. But I will say, it's not as bad as the Marvels. It's not as bad as Thor, Love and Thunder and some of these other terrible MCU movies. But it's not good either. There was the potential there for it to be really good, but Marvel squandered it in all the ways you would expect Marvel to do, to ruin something. So that's my thoughts on the movie. I thought that there was potential there, but it fell into all the traps that these MCU movies keep falling into. And stay tuned for my review, and I will talk about those. So, looks like we got a Streamlabs chat here from Anonymous, so I can't say who did it. And they donated £1. Thank you very much for that. Like I said, your donations really help support the channel. And especially lately, with the beginning of the year, monetization on YouTube is always unreliable, and it has especially been unreliable. So your super chats and donations and your Streamlabs chats really do help. Let's see. And I'll quickly give a thanks to my patrons as well. It really helps that way too. And my YouTube members, it really helps as well. So the anonymous donator says, is it true that there's a live-action chameleon in Kraven? Because that sounds really cool. Also, have you started watching your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man yet? Yes, there is a live-action chameleon in Kraven, and trust me, it is not cool. It's right at the last second. It's right at the end of the movie, so that chameleon is not in the movie a lot. And also, I started watching Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man yet. I haven't, and I don't think I will. Originally, I was going to do it just so I can do a video for you guys, but I think that time has come and gone, so I'm going to focus on the other videos that I'm working on, especially right now, Captain America Brave New World, and some Patreon videos that have been requested as well. So Gregory, right now I'm actually editing the Puss in Boots versus video that he requested. That video is getting much closer to getting finished, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. But yeah, in between all of this work, I'm editing that as well. Also, when I give Gregory, when I give the video, I want it to be of a high quality, so it's also been taking a while longer. But yeah, I'm working on that and getting that done. Gregory says, Eric, I sent you a message on your Patreon. Okay, I'll read it later on then, buddy. Right now, I'll read these messages that I've got here. I don't know why they are... Oh, the Time Shadow says, it was actually me. For some reason, there was an issue with my login, and it's referred to me as anonymous. But yeah, oh, okay then. Thank you, Time Shadow, for the donation. I appreciate that. Let's see. Fireboy says, the leader was so dirty in the movie, and his design was so bad. Oh, that's great. Goat says, Eric, I joined Patreon for free. Thanks, buddy. You should get some free content coming your way. You should get emails. I've set it up to where if you join for free, you can get a taster of my content on Patreon. And then if you want, you can, become an actual member. So I've put that there for you. Good Times has done a €2 donation. Says, curious, how many super chats have I sent? I don't know. I haven't... I don't keep track of it by name, by who's done it. That I think I'll spend too much time writing down that way. I just write down the numbers here, so I don't know. I wish I could tell you, buddy, but I don't know. But thank you again for the donation. I appreciate that. Gregory says, okay, quick question. Is Avengers Endgame still a 10 out of 10? I'd say probably not. I'd say probably now it's a 9 out of 10. Nate the Great, it's great to see you, buddy. He says, Hey Eric, glad I can join the stream. I still didn't see Captain America Brave New World, but the only thing I'm going to think is Sam could be a good character, but Falcon the Winter Soldier sets the bar very low. Yeah, you'd be right in that. Elite says, have you seen Captain America? Yes, I have seen Brave New World. I was actually talking about it on this stream. Kevin has done a $2 super chat. He says, sorry for $5. Rest in peace to 17 people at Florida where I live. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, buddy. If there's a disaster that's gone on there, I really am sorry to hear about that. Eric, what is your current score of Spider-Man No Way Home? What score did I give Spider-Man No Way Home in my Versus video? Was it a 7 or was it a 6? What did I give it? Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is great, says Batman. Oh, cool. Oh, it was a 7. You guys said I gave it a 7. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I would say probably... Jedge says I gave it a 7.5. Buddy, I don't use a decimal system. I only do... I've considered it, but I don't do it. At least not right now. Gregory says you gave it a 7 out of 19 and said it was good. You mean a 7 out of 10. I understand the typo. It's okay. And said it was good. Yes, I did. Okay, probably now, because I've not seen it since that Versus video, I'd probably give it a 6. Probably. I need to see it again. I always say I need to see these movies again in order to know what my current score would be, but yeah. Gonna assume right now that I give it a 7. That's still what I gave it in the Versus video, so that's still where the score is. Zilla Universe, great to see you, bud. Says, gonna watch Paddington in Peru instead. That's a good choice. I've not seen the movie, but I hope you enjoy it. Jed says, oh yeah, Eric, audio has had weird cuts today. How's the stream been? Jed says that there seems to be some cuts on the stream. Has there been cuts, or has it all been good so far to you guys? Good time says, does Infinity War remain a 10 out of 10? Yes, Infinity War is still a 10 out of 10. What do you guys give Infinity War now after all this time? What score do you guys give it? I'm curious. Khan says, yeah, I've noticed the audio cut. Okay, if it happens again, like it's a problem, let me know and I'll try to sort it out. Occasionally the audio disappears for like a couple of seconds, then comes back. Okay, that's unfortunate, but hopefully it's not going to be so bad. Trevor says, can't wait to see The Monkey. It is directed by the same guy who did Longlegs last year. Wow, he turned out another movie very quickly, didn't he? You know what? We haven't done one of these in a while. Give me a second. Hold on. There we go. And just adding something to the stream. I'll show you guys in a second. There we go. Yeah, sorry guys, I'll almost be done. I'm just adding this right now. Give me a second. It should be done in shortly. I was going to do one of those there, but there seems to be an issue. It's, well, doesn't seem to be showing up for some reason. Oh, now it seems to work. Alright. That is bizarre. Here we go. There you go. You guys should see it now. Okay, and now it just disappeared. Hold on. Here we go. I'll show you right here. Oh, I have two of them. I don't know why. Let's get rid of that one. I'll do one of these tip goals again. If you remember this, I haven't done one of these for a while. So if you want me to review the monkey when it comes out, because I've got other videos to work on, but if you want me to work on the monkey, all you got to do is get that tip goal right there to fill with blood. It should hopefully, unless there's an issue with it, it shouldn't. All you got to do is fill that tip goal right there with blood all the way to the end. And I've set it at 50 points. Yep, there you go, set with blood, which is cool like last time. So Patrick Style donated £1 through Streamlabs. If anyone wants to get that bar all the way across, you just got to donate 49 as a collected effort. If you do it collectively, there's like 42 of you in the chat. It keeps going up from 42 to 60. Collectively, if just, let's say, just do $1 each or something, it should get all the way there. But yeah, Patrick Style has asked the first question. I haven't seen Heart Eyes, but I do want to see it very, very soon. Hopefully tomorrow I want to give it a watch. But I've heard a lot of good things about Heart Eyes, so I'm very interested. You know what? Here's my goal to you guys. Fill this up. I'll do a review. This is a one-time thing. I'm not going to be doing this every time, because usually I'll have to up the goal higher. But if you do this, fill this to that £50 goal that we have. If you do that, I will review The Monkey and Heart Eyes in the same video. I'll do 2 horror movie reviews in the same video. All you gotta do is fill that goal across all the way. And what was I doing before? Was it like 150 the goal had to be? Well, now it's just 50. So if that goal fills, and you gotta do it through Streamlabs. If you do it through Streamlabs and you fill that goal, then I will do these 2 reviews for Heart Eyes and The Monkey. So, yeah. Okay, now where was I? Let's quickly do this right here. There we go. Alright. Okay. Where are we? Eric, how's the Sonic Versus video coming along? Extremely excited for it. I'm still working on it. Now that I've finished the Moana Versus video, I can start writing it. I just need to get my review done for Captain America first, then I can start writing the Sonic video. So yeah, that's the goal. Electrify says, hi Eric, do you think Disney Plus will die? I don't think it will die, but probably Disney will do something to kind of like minimize how impactful it is, because clearly it's putting people off of Star Wars and Disney, and it makes them used to watching those brands at home. With Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney, a lot of people feel like they can watch them at home. I think Disney, clearly they've shown and demonstrated that they can still bring people to the theaters, but there's a lot of people that are not willing to see Marvel and Star Wars as often in the theaters. So I think that's going to probably make them think, let's bring that content down, but also still put enough there to get people to subscribe. But when you hear the next story coming up, they might want to change that strategy. Let's see. Disney Plus. This is, yeah, Jedge, we will talk about that. Trust me, I'll bring that up when I talk about it. Alright, so, has anyone got anything else to say about Captain America Brave New World before we move on to the next story? Saeed, we'll talk about that. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, Patrick Style, he donated $1. I did not answer his question. He says, just wondering if you heard of the movie Neza 2. I've never heard of that, no. The way you say Neza, though, I wrote the name Isaiah, who's the character in Captain America Brave New World. It looks very similarly spelt to that. He says, it's on track to potentially surpass Inside Out 2 to become the highest-grossing animated movie of all time. Actually, that's the movie in China, isn't it? That's making $1 billion. Yes, I have seen that. The movie in China that is making $1 billion... No, not... That is making $1 billion all on its own. I've heard of that. I've not seen it, but I've heard of that movie. So yeah, that would actually be rather fascinating, that would be. I've not seen it, but I am curious. I would like to. But I don't know if that number is true, though. Well, it's because I don't think I've ever seen a movie in China make that much money just from one country. Like, normally you need to send it to multiple, but that's rather fascinating, that. And it's something that I've never heard of before as well, so that's very interesting. Okay, Nate says, I'm glad that the Moana Versus video came out on my birthday because it felt like a great present. Oh, that means a lot, bud. Thank you very much for that. Okay. G1, yes, I do agree. Alright, next story we're talking about now is going to be some Harry Potter news. Now, that HBO show of Harry Potter that is being made, they're looking to cast actors, and they've now cast this actor right here. And who are they casting, you might ask? Well, they're casting their new Professor Dumbledore, basically. And this actor, his name is John Lithgow. Now, you might be wondering, who is John Lithgow, and why are they getting him to play Professor Dumbledore in the new Harry Potter show? Well, John Lithgow is... First of all, let's talk about his previous roles, or one of them. One of his previous roles is this guy right here. Who recognizes that guy? Yep, John Lithgow actually voiced Lord Farquaad, or if you get rid of the R, try saying the name then. It was actually a crude inside joke that was done. That was a crude inside joke that was done in Shrek, and it was very funny. But yeah, basically he voiced him. There you go, people are already getting it in the chat. Yep, that's exactly it. Batman235 says, Eric, really? You trying to get the F word? I'm not. I'm trying not to say it. But you guys have got it. That was actually something that was done deliberately by the writers that they did. So yeah, all this time I never realized that they actually managed to put that, like, quite adult joke in Shrek just by name, just with one of the characters' names. That's impressive. They really used to know how to do that kind of humor back in the day, but they seem to have lost that art in modern day. So yeah, he was also in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where he played James Franco's dying father in there, who suffered from Alzheimer's. So he was in that movie as well. And now they're going to get him to play Professor Dumbledore, which is interesting because the actor, John Lithgow, first of all, this is not confirmed yet. It's only a rumor, but it does seem like it's something that potentially might happen. And originally they were going to try to get Mark Rylance in to be the character, to play the role, but it looks like that might have fallen through. Now, Richard Harris, he played Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. But he passed away, so then they had to bring in Michael Gambon to play Harry Potter from 3 all the way through till 7 Part 2. So it is interesting because age is a big thing, and John Lithgow is 79 years old right now. And I don't mean to be I know this will be presumptuous, but I don't mean to be that, but it's like, will he be able to survive for the next 7 seasons, which can take about 2 years apiece to make. I don't know. That seems like you need. That seems. It seems tricky to cast a Dumbledore, considering how old that the actor has to be. And I never realized how tricky it was for them to cast Dumbledore back in the older Harry Potter films. But here we are. And if you look at a more recent image of John Lithgow, he looks like this. Much older than the picture we see of him there next to Lord Farquaad. Now, the Time Shadow has tipped £1. Thank you very much, buddy. We're getting closer to filling up that bar. And he says, hear me out, Eric. How would you feel about Moana versus Encanto? I think that could be interesting. Well, I still haven't seen Encanto, so I don't know, but we'll have to see. Again, if someone wants to commission that, that means it will then be a definite, but until then, I do not know. I have to see the movie first to know for sure. Okay. So yeah, this is who they're considering to get to play Dumbledore. Now, something that people are thinking is that, hang on, John Lithgow, if you remember, J.K. Rowling said that a mandate that she put on the studio is that she only wanted British actors to be in the original movies. So that's why they were never able to get other actors in, you know, that weren't British. And that's why they had nothing but great, talented British actors coming in to play all of these roles. It really was like a showcase of great British actors. Quite a few of which who have passed away now as well. So, just seeing, I think one of you guys said that there's the audio cut out. If that happens again, I'll try to fix it. But yeah, so there they tried to go for nothing but British actors, but it does seem like they're branching out now, and it's not just restricted to British actors anymore. So it makes you wonder then, who are they going to cast for other roles in the show? And it seems like they still haven't cast the Harry Potter kids yet, and that's a big deal. We don't know if they're going to try to race bend one, like, you know, the Hermione character, or the Ron one, or maybe even the Harry one. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it is rather interesting. Matt Smith as Lord Voldemort, says Dead Wolf production. That would be funny. Although, could you imagine if they brought in... Nah, I don't know if they should. I was going to say, could you imagine if they brought in Bill Skarsgård as Voldemort? I don't know. Hopefully when they bring Voldemort in, he'll be a lot more scary, because in the books he is described looking more snake-like, but in the movies they made him look more human-like. He even had red slits for eyes. So hopefully they'll try to bring the more scary-looking version of Voldemort to life in these new animated movies. Sorry, in the new series. So yeah, that was one thing I was wondering. Will he be able to survive making 7 seasons, or will they have to do what the original movies did, and will they have to find a way to, like, recast him at some point? I don't know. That is quite a risky thing, which I never considered when I was younger and watching the original movies. So yeah. Big Bash says, do you think Voldemort will look like how he did in the books? That's what, like I said, I was hoping that they do make him look like he does in the books. Whether they will, I don't know, but let's hope they do. Here's hoping for the best. So has anyone got any questions about this? Gamersaur says, I love Shrek more now. Yeah, there is a lot more jokes to love when you're older in that movie. That, you know, jokes that went completely over our heads. Charlton says, I'd cast Carl Urban as Hagrid. Really? Carl Urban as Hagrid? I'd probably cast him as someone else, but probably not Hagrid. I don't know. Carl Urban doesn't seem like the kind of actor that you would hire for a Harry Potter movie, but who knows? Ulrich Thompson is Sinestro in the DCU Lantern Show. I know, I've actually talked about that in one of the previous live streams. I think Bill Skarsgård as... Where is it? Who said that? Oh, I think I must have missed that. I don't know where that went. Alright. For 7 seasons. Jason Momoa I would cast as Hagrid. At first I can understand why you would say that, but then I don't think so. It's like, I can't see him playing... Hagrid's a very sweet kind of character. Can any of you see Jason Momoa doing that with Hagrid? He's very gently spoken. I feel like Jason Momoa just wants to shriek whenever he can and do that scream that he does. I don't know. I don't think that will I don't think that will work, personally. I don't know, but what do you guys think? Cillian Murphy as Voldemort. Trevor, that's actually a good idea. Oh, man. Source Fierce. He says Henry Cavill as Voldemort. No way. No way. Zatanna is in the DCU now. I've heard of that, but we'll see how that materializes. Khan, you're bloody well right. He says probably the worst casting choice is Tom Holland as Harry Potter. Yep, Tom Holland as Harry Potter would be the worst choice. Totally. Robin Williams wanted to play Hagrid in the original. Yes, Crazy Cat Lady, he did. He wanted to play Hagrid so bad, apparently, that he said he would even do it for free. And they still turned him down. I gotta say, that's sad to hear. But I am glad because Robbie Coltrane, he did an amazing job as Hagrid. And he's also passed away now as well. But he was perfect for Hagrid, I thought, Robbie Coltrane. Gamersaw says, Jim Carrey Voldemort is unlikely but hilarious. Yeah, he definitely is. Superman is more score-based compared to Guardians or Suicide Squad. It is. So that's why I hope with Superman they use the orchestra more and they use an actual movie score and not soundtracks like what James Gunn usually does. Adrian Brody would be a good Snape. That's interesting. I didn't think of that. Gregory says Dwayne Johnson as Hagrid would be terrible, but in a funny way. Think about it. I don't think so, Gregory. I don't want Dwayne Johnson coming anywhere near Harry Potter. He'll find a way to make that about himself, too. There's a rumor going around that apparently Marvel want Dwayne Johnson to be Apocalypse in the MCU. Now, take it as a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but that's a bizarre thing, isn't it? I don't even know why. If that is true, I don't know why they would want that. But if it is, they need to basically say to him, no, there is no way, because Dwayne Johnson's not really an actor. I feel like when he did Fast and Furious 5, he was an actor. But after that, he kind of abandoned acting and just played himself in all these movies. And you need a good actor for roles like this, and I don't think Dwayne Johnson couldn't pull that off. See, a lot of you are like, no, heck no. Time Shadow, I would not like it if Tom Holland was Harry Potter. I really wouldn't. Khan said, he is not the rock spirit hero, he is the pebble. If you've seen Avatar The Last Airbender, you'll get that reference. That was a funny one. I would love for... Do you know what I would love? That crappy live-action Avatar The Last Airbender coming to Netflix. It would be cool if they could actually bring The Rock in to play the boulder. That would actually be kind of funny. Having him come in to play the boulder. And then she calls him, bring it on, the pebble. That would actually then be funny. Gregory, why'd you have to say that? He says, imagine Keegan-Michael Key as Ron. We don't want seeing Keegan-Michael Key playing anything in that Harry Potter world, let alone Ron Weasley. Joey says, what would you think of Willem Dafoe or Woody Harrelson as Voldemort? Ooh. See, now we're talking, Joey. That is actually some good casting ideas right there. Woody Harrelson and... Oh, where did your comment go, Joey? Woody Harrelson or Willem Dafoe as Lord Voldemort in the new Harry Potter. That sounds kind of interesting. To see what actors like them would bring to it. They are very good actors. Like, I know you're kidding, Gregory. I'm just saying I don't need that thought of Keegan-Michael Key playing Ron in my mind. Yeah, yeah, let me just read what's something. Kit Harington as Sirius Black. Not a bad choice. Taika Waititi as Voldemort. Nah. Nice try, though. Jack Black as Hagrid. Imagine Jack Black as Hagrid, says Robin. Yeah, but basically, Ray Fiennes was a very good actor, and it would be interesting, yeah, to get an actor like Willem Dafoe or Woody Harrelson and have them come in and play Voldemort, see what they would bring to it. That would be very interesting. I think it could be creepy, too, in their own way. and they could maybe give him a laugh or something. Yeah, that would make him different. Gregory, Gregory knows how to push my buttons. He says Awkwafina as Hermione. No frickin' way, man. No way. Finn Wolfhard as Harry Potter. Too old. G Gamer, he says he just came out of watching Brave New World. What did I miss? Well, you missed me talking about Brave New World and its box office. And also its reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. And then we were also talking about just now the fact that this actor, John Lithgow, is being considered to play Hagrid in the HBO Harry Potter series. Gregory says, like, it will be bad, but we could laugh at how bad the choice would be. Then put her in an SNL sketch. But I don't want to see her in no Harry Potter series. Jedge says, the hierarchy of Harry Potter is about to change forever if Dwayne Johnson plays Ron. Yeah, it certainly would be, yeah. Ooh, Andy Serkis as Dobby. That is kind of interesting, that. Especially because back in the day, Dobby and Gollum, when I was a kid, I used to compare the two effects. Because both movies came out a month apart from each other, and they both seemed very similar, I thought, when I was younger. Joshman says, can we get to the next story? Yes, we can get to the next story. Khan says, Eric Carter as Dobby. No thanks. I would prefer not to. Alright then. So, Disney Plus. Oh boy, give me a second. Let me just reposition and sort out my camera here. There we go. So, Disney Plus. Disney Plus have gone through some... We've seen them go through many ups and downs. They are struggling with their streaming business. They're trying to get... Despite having huge brands at their disposal, both at Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, they're just not able to get a stronghold on the streaming market like they want to in order to be truly profitable. In fact, it is said that Disney Plus loses money for the studio every single year. So they still they have a lot of growing to do, and they still want to make a lot more money than they currently are. So what is going on? What's going on is that they are trying to boost up their sales and trying to get more revenue. So what they did is, as all streaming services are doing, is they increased their pricing. And when they increased their price from October, I think they upgraded their price in like October. Right at that moment, from October to December, Disney Plus suffered a huge loss in subscribers. How much did they lose of subscribers? Here. 700,000 subscribers they lost once they hiked up that price point. Wow, that is an insane number of subscribers to lose. And I think that basically just tells you right there exactly what the issue is that people, first of all, they don't want to pay more money for it. They don't think the extra money is worth it. And Disney just upped the price but didn't give us anything in return. So yeah, the price is insanely high for what people feel like is they're not getting their money's worth. And a big reason for that is because there are shows like The Acolyte, which came out recently, which made people lose faith in Star Wars now, and then there's shows from Marvel coming out which aren't any good. Like, we're gonna get Ironheart soon, and that's no good. That's nothing. That is Ironheart. Who cares about Ironheart? But Marvel are saying, we hear you. We know that we are taking your money every month, and we know what shows you want. So here's The Acolyte. Here's Ironheart. Here's She-Hulk. And they keep making all of these shows that a lot of people just don't want or don't care about. There's the stuff that you really get from Disney Plus is their backlog of classic Disney animated movies and live action movies. But you don't really get anything in the now, like new content coming out where people like really want to go and see it. I think Daredevil is an interesting one, but I don't have faith that Marvel will pull it off well. And overall, there's just too many streaming services. Way too many. To the point where it feels like, which one do we pay for? Which one do we cut? Because they all up their prices. And people can't afford to keep all of them, especially when they all up their prices. So they have to basically cut the arm off of one of them. And which one do they sever? Which connection do they sever? Disney Plus in this case. So I think that's what the issue is that there's just too many streaming services and the quality is not good enough. These studios are just treating it as content. Just throw content to the consumer without actually checking the quality of the content. And I think that is something that people have just kind of reached their wits' end with, especially when it comes to Disney, because they waited for years for Disney to finally release some good quality content, and they just don't do it. Meanwhile, if you look over at, say, what DC is doing with when they did with Peacemaker, with Creature Commandos, and also with the Penguin, there's much more prestigious content coming out there. So, and Disney need that kind of reputation. And if they do, people will all start going over to Disney and saying, okay, we want to start getting our content here, but the content is not at that level. So I think eventually, over time, people will probably think that, yeah, if we subscribe to HBO Max, or it's called Max now, if we subscribe to that, we're going to get great content, because they put work into those shows. But with Disney Plus, they don't seem to have that reputation with their fan base, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it is a problem. The Movie King here says, the only show I care about is Daredevil Born Again, as I couldn't care less about the other Marvel shows, even Vision, even though they're bringing back Ultron. Yeah, that's the thing about it, is that people just don't really care about what Disney are trying to sell them. And they love those properties, but Disney are just not treating them with the respect that they need, or with the quality control that they need. Batman's Gamer has done a $2 super chat. Thanks, bud. Although keep in mind, if you do it through Streamlabs, like I said, then we'll be able to fill that bar, that blood bar, and you'll get a couple of extra reviews from me. Let's put that to the top. It should be here. I don't know why it wasn't. There we go. But regardless, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Batman's Gamer says, take Max. They removed most DC movies out of it. Oh, wow. We haven't got Max here. We haven't got Max here. I had to use a VPN with someone else's account recently in order to watch like Creature Commandos. And I didn't go through looking, but wow, they took all the DC stuff off. That's not good. They have the Batman there, don't they, and the Penguin show. Movie King says Max is ass solely because they keep removing all the good Cartoon Network shows like Regular Show, Gumball, and Ben 10. Ooh, that's not a good thing, is it? The last time I explored HBO Max, that was it. I must have explored it when it was HBO Max, because they had so much. To this day, I feel like I know what's on there. I don't need to search through it, but they've taken a lot of that stuff off, yeah. So yeah, even Max is now starting to lose its value in that regard. So yeah, it's a shame what they're doing with all of this stuff here. Trevor says, I only watch Netflix anyway, lol. I only watch Netflix primarily as well, but occasionally you want to find a certain movie or show, and then what do? You look through all your other streaming services, and you're like, oh, it's not on any of these ones. And then you keep looking until you find the streaming service that you own that does have the movie or show you're looking for. So that's usually what I have it for. But yeah, Disney Plus, I mainly now use it just to watch stuff like Young Sheldon and Big Bang Theory, which came onto it recently, and I use it for that. But we also use Netflix for that, so what's the real point here? Yeah. Big Bash says, I watch stuff on free streaming sites. Deadwall Production says, on Prime Video, yeah. And then you realize you have to rent something. Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's something that's really annoying about Amazon, is that they always, they put everything out all on their main pages. And they make you think, oh, this is all the streaming content. But then when you go into it, they say, oh no, you have to rent or buy this. You can't stream it. And they just combine all of it. And that's why Amazon Prime feels like you never really get what you pay for. Because every time you feel like, oh, we'll have all these movies at our disposal, turns out you don't. You're going to have to pay extra money to get those. It's annoying how they do that. Big Bash, I agree. He says physical media needs to come back, and I completely agree with that. Prime Video is annoying for having ads interrupting like a YouTube video. Yeah, Prime Video has done that. I'm on the lowest tier, and yeah, they do that. It's not fun when they do that. It really isn't. Yeah, Movie King, everyone is very skeptical of the new Daredevil show because they don't trust Disney. They've got a track record, and Marvel have a track record too. And the fact that show also had a ton of reshoots, and they had to do rewrites for it as well, that's not a good sign. Just like, look what happened to the Marvels. Look what happened to Thor Love and Thunder. Look what happened to Secret Invasion. Look what happened to She-Hulk. Look what happened to... have I mentioned the Marvels? And also look at what happened to Captain America Brave New World. Marvel have got a terrible reputation, and it's not going to be doing any good for them. Anonymous, which I'm guessing is the Time Shadow, has donated another pound. Streamlabs chat. Thanks a lot, buddy. Although we're still quite far away from filling up that that bloodline right there. Let's see. When I first bought Disney Plus in 2021, it was £70. Now, in just 3 years, it doubled to £140. I've never cancelled a subscription so fast. The annoying part is they have offset those losses by increasing prices. I only hope they continue to lose subs. That's kind of the game. We all knew that. When Disney Plus came out, it was very cheap. But that's because there wasn't really any content there besides the stuff we've already seen from them, and The Mandalorian, of course, which was, I think, the only new bit of content. But after that, I knew they were going to start to up the prices, and they did. They upped the prices, and every streaming service is going to keep continuing to up the prices. So yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's just kind of how it is. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. Eric, what is your favorite streaming service that says Electrify? Probably Netflix, if I had to pick all of them. Spirit Hero says Netflix is starting to do that too. Yeah, Netflix have always been upping their prices, and people have never liked it. Jess says, hey Eric, imagine if The Boys got a movie so they can make fun of Marvel. They already make fun of Marvel. In the recent season, he said, we have just finished reshooting our reshoots. So, yeah, they've already made fun of Marvel, and they've made fun of it many times before. Funny says, hey Eric, sorry for mess of an hour of stream. Don't worry, buddy. Joey says, the only reason why I'm subscribed to Disney Plus is because of The Mandalorian and the Marvel movies. The exclusive shows I could care less about. Yeah, it's just, Disney are not really giving people what they want in terms of streaming, so they need to do better in that regard. Batman 235 says, do you like John Murphy's Superman theme with the humming? Yes, I do. It's a very nice sounding theme. Oh, Jed says, I don't know why I put my name in, but it said anonymous in that tip. If you put your name in there, it should put the actual name in, hopefully. It's done that in the past. Trevor, no, I've not seen the latest Cobra Kai's yet. When I finish my review of Captain America, then I will. But in the meantime, I need to get those videos done for you guys. Then I can chill out and take some time for myself and watch the next episodes to Cobra Kai. But not right now. I never subscribed to Disney Plus, says Funny. Yeah, a lot of people haven't. So, yeah, a lot of people don't care. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for that. Now we'll get onto the Q&A session. And like I said, the monkey is right there, which we can fill. Jess has done a $2 super chat. Thank you, Jess. He says, Princess Peach is better than the DCU version. Oh, you're talking about that horny princess. Yeah, if you've seen my Let's Watch on Patreon, you'll know I'm not particularly fond of that princess. Elite, yes, my review will have probably light spoilers, I think. But I'm still deciding whether I'll take the spoilers out or not. I'm still deciding. Yeah, that monkey is from Toy Story 3, but that toy has always existed. So it's not technically from Toy Story 3, per se. Go. I'll just reposition this. There you go. So, yeah, if you guys want me to review, like I said, the monkey, all we got to do is just get this over to the goal point. The Dark Lord says, that is so friendly looking. I know, right? You know what? Let me just move this over so I don't have to move quite so much. Let's sort that out. There we go. Alright. Have I seen Arcane Season 2, says the Ninder. I still haven't. Very busy I am, so unfortunately I don't have the time to. Khan says they bloody well deserve to lose all those subscribers after what they tried to pull with the husband who lost his wife at Disneyland. Oh, that, yes, I remember that. Do you know the one stream we talked about for almost four hour long stream? Yeah, that was atrocious what they did. That was sick. Because you're subscribed to Disney Plus, that means you can't sue Disney for anything. Pathetic. That was disgusting, that was. Yeah, I forgot about that until you just mentioned it. Yeah, that was atrocious. Robin, I've not seen Wolfman yet. I'm waiting to see it with my brother when he's free, and then we'll watch it. Goat says, how can I send you a message on Patreon? To send me a message on Patreon, how do you send? You should be able to go to the main page. It should say contact, your contact creator or something. It should be there. Look for it there, or give it a Google search. You should find it, but it should be there. It should be very simple. And if you can't see it, the G-Gamer, who might still be on the chat, if he is, can probably point you in the right direction, because the G-Gamer has messaged me before. Batman235 says, do you like the colours on the Superman suits, and are you trunks or no trunks? I am trunks or no trunks? I don't mind either, personally. I'm not really for or against either of them. I really don't mind it. Nate the Great says, have you seen Squid Game? I say it is the next biggest thing since Stranger Things and Wednesday, because I walk by my brother and he always says skirt because of Thanos. Yes, I have seen Squid Games, and it's fun. I have enjoyed it. I was going to do a video on it, but unfortunately that never materialized. That's why I'm trying to do more videos of me in front of the camera, so I'm going to try doing more of that. I did one with Megan. Who saw the Megan video that I did, where I talked about that? Because I am going to try to do more videos like that, so I can cover more topics that I usually just don't get the time to. So that's going to be a goal of mine. Oh, quite a few of you have. So what did you think? Did you like it? Khan's seen it. Nate the Great seen it. The Dark Lord has. Source Fierce. Batman's Gamer hasn't. The Dark Lord said, fine video. Electrify says, will you react to the new Thunderbolts trailer or not? Here's the thing. That trailer went completely over my head. I didn't even know they released it. Until, I think it was you mentioned it on one of the comments of one of my videos. Yes, I will react to it. I definitely will. I was just reacting to all the episodes of Creature Commandos, so I got busy with that. And I was also editing all these other videos. Like I said, the Moana versus video, and also I was editing the Megan video, and then I'm also editing the Puss in Boots video. So yes, I have been very busy editing all of these videos, so I didn't get time to do that trailer reaction. But yes, I will try to catch up on it and do that, yeah. I still have to check it out, so yeah, we'll see what I think. Joshman says, Eric, would you agree that Paramount Plus also has really bad content? I would include shows like Halo and Modern Star Trek and Dora the Idiotic Garbage Stupid Explorer CG reboot that no kid show would watch. I've not looked around on Paramount Plus. There has been the odd movie or show that I've wanted to see, and it says it's available on Paramount Plus, and then I just didn't watch it. And then it ends up on Netflix or something eventually, so I've had that. But I can't say if it sucks or not, but for myself, I don't particularly care for it. Nate says, Void looks scary in that trailer. Void. Is Void supposed to be... what was the character called? He was supposed to be like a... blue, look like... He's supposed to be yellow. What was that character called in the Thunderbolts trailer? I forgot his name. They call him Bob, but the character that he is started with an S. Was an S it started with, wasn't it? Sentry. Thank you, Rohan. Sentry, yes. I thought he was going to be Sentry. If I understand correctly, the Void, is that supposed to be like a split personality he has, which is like a very dark side or something? Kind of like how Moon Knight has a dark personality, a dark side to him. That's another thing. When is Moon Knight going to get a continuation? It's been so freaking long. Yeah, you guys said yeah. Okay, interesting. He's going to be the villain, says Batman's Gamer. Cool. it has evil version. It's an evil version of Sentry. Okay, I'll like I said, I'll definitely react to the trailer and let you guys know what I think. It'll be on my Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to check it out. So it'll be sitting there for you. Batman's Gamer says, but this is just going to be a Suicide Squad movie. Yeah, it does seem like that, doesn't it? Like it's just going to be a Suicide Squad movie. G-Game says, speaking of subscriptions, how was your 1 month subscription to Peacock to watch Megamind 2? Depressing, to put it in a word, buddy. That was... Even... You've seen my reaction to the whole movie. There was so much questions, and the opening was ugly. I had to move back in my seat because Megamind's face comes so close to the camera, and I actually went like this. I bought a bigger monitor to do these kind of videos now just recently, and when seeing his face get so close up to mine, I actually had to go back in my reaction of the whole movie. I can just imagine G-Gamer laughing as he was seeing all of that. Yeah, buddy, you really put me through it in that one. You really did. Spirit Hero, I'll try to do that video between those three. It's just that there's just so much information that keeps coming out. I don't know what to really pinpoint on, so I'll try to get to it. I definitely will. Ah, good one, Deadwolf. He goes, that's not Megamind. That was Nevermind. That's actually a good one, that is. Really good one. Harshly Critical, hi, how have you been? Rex says easily a 1 out of 10 at most. Hey Eric, why you become 30 years... Where is that question gone? Did you just remove that question about 30 years, me being 30? When I'm being 30? Eric, who do you hate more, Marvel or Sony? That's a good question. I'll say Sony, because they just don't have a clue. What they should have done... What they really should have done was made a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie and a Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie right after Spider-Man No Way Home. You know, everyone was hyped and pumped. They should have got straight to doing that, but they didn't. It's a missed opportunity. A huge missed opportunity. Funny, says, Eric, I have a question. Have you seen the Sonic 3 movie? Yes, I have. I'm going to be working on a Versus video. Jess says, hey Eric, when you become 30 years old on your birthday, watch Morbius for fun. It's Morbin time. No freaking way. I'll watch something else, but not Morbius. The Time Shadow says, where's Sarah this week? I don't know. Sarah hasn't shown up this particular stream. So I don't know. Gamersaur says, Sony Spider-Man spin-offs or Disney remakes? That's a difficult one. I'll say Sony Spider-Man spin-offs because there's a big chance you're going to be able to laugh at how bad they are. The Disney remakes, they're just cringy the whole time. That's how bad they are. Sonic says, would you rather watch Craven or Megamind 2? Oh man, that's a hard one right there. Sonic, why'd you have to ask such a hard question? I'll say... Okay, I'll just say I'll watch Megamind 2 rather than Craven. The movie is shorter, and I actually, believe it or not, I did not find it as boring as I found Craven the Hunter. Hey, Khan says, hey Eric, what are your thoughts about Jonathan Major's possible return as Kang? I've heard that rumor. Someone asked me to cover it as a story for this live stream, and I didn't. Because I don't think it's true. They're trying to bring Doctor Doom in. I don't know why they'd want to bring Kang in now, especially because the MCU is under enough controversy as it is. They don't want to bring in an actor who has still got controversy attached to him. So I don't think that's going to happen. Electrify says, would you rather watch Craven or Snow White remake? Oh boy, I've not even seen the Snow White remake, so I'll just say the Snow White remake. Thoughts on the Goonies 2 in the works, said Trevor. Well, apparently Goonies, they've been trying to put the sequel in the works for a long time, but they just could never find a script that they thought was worth it. Now that the studio has commissioned it, I wonder if they're just going to greenlight any script that is written. So that does concern me. If they couldn't crack the script after all these years, what makes them think they're going to crack it now just because Warner Brothers said to them, write a script? I don't think it will be any good, I don't think, personally. They'll probably try to bring in new characters to focus on them, I think, is what they're probably going to do. Jess says, Madam Web or Smallville? Smallville, of course. Smallville is way better. Wasn't Josh Brolin bad in Goonies? I need to see Goonies again. I've not seen it since I was a kid, so I can't say. Big Bash says, will a Goonies 2 be about the kids all grown up? It probably will be. Plus, they'll bring in a new generation to get the new generation to watch a movie like this. Kind of like what Cobra Kai and many of these other shows do. They focus on the previous generation, but then bring in a new generation as well to kind of like bring the kids in to watch the film. Joshman says, Eric, you did not answer my question. I was asking about Captain America 4. Did it include really bad MCU humor? I'll say this. They cut down on the MCU humor. I think the MCU humor, I can count it on one hand how many times they did it. So, thankfully, this movie was not filled with MCU humor, I don't think, in that way. Sonic 3 or Mufasa says, good times. Sonic 3, of course. Of course. Eric, have you heard the leaks on a Moana live-action remake? That's not really a leak. I think it's already been announced. And yeah, we've heard about it a while back. And there was even set photos of Dwayne Johnson playing Maui in live action. And they put him in a bodysuit, which is bizarre because Dwayne Johnson's already got a huge physique. So that was interesting. Will there be a Snow White versus video? I intend to, yes. Let's hope I can get all these other videos out on time. Is David Cornsweet a good choice or perfect choice for Superman? I think he was a perfect choice. Let's see how he does. The Dark Lord says, have you seen the new How to Train Your Dragon trailer? I haven't, but I'm going to react to that as well, also on my Patreon and YouTube memberships. Eric, did you hear that Dwayne Johnson is going to play Bane? He's also going to play Apocalypse, is what a rumor said. What, they're going to try and make him play Bane now, too? Nah, he's not a good actor enough to play those characters. Batman235 says, David's voice is so Superman. It really is. If you watch that recent little promo they did with Shaquille O'Neal, I think it was, he sounds a lot like Superman. He's got the voice down. He really does. What's your favorite Fox X-Men film and least favorite, says Dead Wolf Production. My favorite of them is Logan and Days of Future Past, and it tends to fluctuate and go back and forth. But I'll say, because you said X-Men film, but they're all X-Men films, aren't they? I'll say Logan. Second is Days of Future Past. And my least favorite, probably X-Men Dark Phoenix, I think. No. Would it be Dark Phoenix? Because it wasn't good, but neither was X-Men Apocalypse. But I did like the second half of that movie better. Thought the personal story in Dark Phoenix was a little bit better. How about we just say New Mutants? Or Days of Future... Not Days of Future... New Mutants or X-Men Origins Wolverine. Lion King remake or Craven? Which one's... Are you trying to say which one's better or which one's worse? The Lion King remake or Craven? If I had to pick one to see, I'd say... Darn it, man. That is a tough one. Hold on, Khan. I'll answer that question in a second. Uh-oh. Where's that comment gone? I think I lost it. Joker 2 I'll watch over Craven. Cars or Craven? I'd watch Cars again. Cars is boring and everything, but I don't know. I feel like Craven was just also really boring. Oh yeah, I'll probably watch The Lion King, just because of the visuals, but that's about it. To be fair, with the Lion King remake, at least you still get to hear the songs. Yeah, but my favourite song was Be Prepared. Look how they butchered that song in that Lion King movie. That was atrocious. So bad. How could you ruin my favourite song? I got annoyed with that. I remember when I was watching it, I was annoyed. I was like, at least there'll be that song that I can watch in the movie, even though I'm not enjoying it. And then they just went and did that. I was like, how could you do that to me? That was like the one upside, the one thing I was looking forward to in that movie, and they ruined it. Ugh, Big Bash says, remember Bye Bye from Mufasa? I do, and if you saw my review of Mufasa, you'll know how much I did not like that. Batman's Gamer says, Disney tried replacing the Seven Dwarves with regular people. Uh-huh. Khan says, so what anime are you currently watching? Anime that I'm currently watching, I'm still going through Demon Slayer. I've not seen the recent season. I'm going to have to watch that. And there's another show that my brother watched. It was called Spy X Family. It was on Netflix. That actually seemed pretty interesting, so I'm probably going to go through and watch that, I think. Yes, Go, I have seen the show Reacher, but I couldn't sit through the whole of the first season. It felt like it was quite slow to me, I think. Yeah, Big Bash, Spy X Family, that is actually pretty cool. Jedge, I've not seen Invincible Season 3 yet, but when I do, I'm going to try to put my reaction up on Patreon, and YouTube memberships, so I will be reacting to that for all of you guys to see. Nate the Great says, Captain Marvel or Thor Love and Thunder? Oh... Nate the Nasty, not really Nate the Great in this particular question. I'll say Thor Love and Thunder, because I really can't stand Brie Larson. Okay, The Time Shadow says, can we agree that Origins Wolverine isn't even a bad film? It's a very watchable film, but I still wouldn't say it's a good film, I would say. Chris, I agree. Love and Thunder is so bad it makes me angry as well. But at least we get to see Chris Hemsworth in that. You know, a familiar face at least. Even though he's so annoying in that movie. But you know what I mean. I just really can't stand Brie Larson. Electrify says, would you rather watch Madam Web or The Marvels? Probably The Marvels. Because at least there was a Kamala... I thought Kamala Khan, I thought she was actually a good character in it. Like, you know, she looked like she was really enjoying herself, so that will be enough to keep, you know, to carry me through the movie. And the movie is short as well, so there's that. Eric, I agree with your video about Captain America, especially considering how people can't even pay for their groceries and our government is so useless. Well, they always increase taxes. There's one clip I forgot to put into that video, which is where I said... when I said in terms of the reliability of America, I was like, America, on the other hand, is not. There was supposed to that scene was supposed to go in the video. The clip was supposed to go, America, on the other hand. Then we cut to a scene in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he goes, Carlton says, when Bush said he would cut taxes, was he lying or just kidding? I was going to put that in there, whereas, like, even back in the 90s, they're not trustworthy. Joshman says, Eric, I did have a question about the Snow White remake. Do you think the CG on the dwarves looks absolutely horrible, atrocious, and disgusting? Yes, I do. It looks bad. I reacted to the CG in my on my Patreon and my YouTube my YouTube memberships. I reacted to the trailer. I did not like what they did with Snow White. It was bad. Deadwolf says, I pitched Sony a team-up film between Morbius, Madam Web, and Craven where they go on a quest for box office money. Well, that's what they attempted to do, and they all failed, didn't they? They came back with less money. So, yeah. Jess says, hey, Eric, when are we going to see the Creature Commandos in live action? I've actually heard that in the Waller show that James Gunn said he was going to do, in the Waller show, we'll see the bride in live action, apparently, and she's going to be played by the same actress, too. So, yeah, that's apparently what's going to happen there. Saneed, a beloved YouTube member on this channel. He's entered the stream. Thanks, buddy. Great to see you joining the stream again. He says, what do you think of The Dark Knight? What do I think of The Dark Knight? The Dark Knight, ever since 2008, has always been my favorite movie of all time. I love The Dark Knight. It's my favorite movie of all time, my favorite comic book movie of all time. It's the best. So yeah, I have nothing but praise for The Dark Knight. Spirit Hero says, you made some great points in your latest video. I also despise what America is doing with forcing Japan to pay and donate for these wars as well with their own money. Yeah, there's a lot of corruption going on. They have a lot of their fingers in a lot of different pots and a lot of different leaders out there. Sunid says, not one problem. I'm sure I must have some problem, but I keep forgetting about any potential problems I have. So I don't know. I really have to think about it. That's the thing. The movie is just so good. It's like I can't really think of any problems, and if I did, there would probably be just small problems. If you guys can think of any problems in there, let me know, and I'll see if I agree with them. Gamersaur says maybe the limits of PG-13. No, because back in the day, back in 2008, that pushed the PG-13 rating. That did. People were saying the movie should have been rated R. They were saying back then, because it was so intense. Even Christopher Nolan said that directors would always come to him and say, "How did you get away with a PG-13 on that movie?" And also that Two-Face image, don't forget, even for today's standards, how does that get a PG-13? That is impressive. You see jaw muscles and like graphic detail that you normally wouldn't see in a PG-13. In the UK, in fact, there were parents that were complaining. The ratings board here in the UK got the most complaints with The Dark Knight than they had in like I think 10, 20 years or something, all directed to The Dark Knight. So yeah, a lot of people thought that was a super dark film at the time. Spirit Hero, they've pushed it now, Warner Brothers have even further, but still, man, that is like insane. Spirit Hero says, what are some YouTubers who you can't stand? I personally can't stand the Cinema Wins and Cinema Sins types. I don't know. I don't really, there's not YouTubers I don't stand. I guess the people that try to like, rage bait and like, they always talk about how things are toxic or woke when they're not. Like they were trying to say the Batman was woke, which it isn't. It had one woke saying in there, but that doesn't mean the whole movie is woke. Stuff like that I'm not really into, those kinds of things. Did you see, Sanine says, did you see the new Captain America? And if you did, what did you think? I saw it, I talked about it briefly on the stream, but I don't want to tell anyone what I thought because I'm working on my review. My review will come out in about a day or two, and I'll be able to let you guys know my thoughts on it then. James Gunn going from Marvel to DC reminds me of Bryan Singer. Yes, but I'm sure James Gunn can learn from the examples of the past, so here's hoping he does a great job. Gamersaur X says YouTubers who just scream or creepy YouTubers. Yeah, those ones as well. Although some who scream can actually make it cool. Like, the Angry Video Game Nerd, for example. And both directed Superman, yeah, but I'm sure he'll do great. I'm sure he'll do a great job, James Gunn. Let's hope so. I hope he does better than he has with any of his other movies. Let me see. What was the other question? Nate the Great says, where do you edit your videos? Here, literally the computer that I'm working on right here is right next to the camera I'm looking at you guys on right here, and I edit here. You can even see, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Got my microphone here. You can even see, here's my keyboard. I use this when I'm editing and everything. I've got my whole setup here, basically. So you guys are seeing where I edit. This is where I've edited my videos for like the last 7 years, 8 years or something. Just a reminder, if you want me to review the Monkey movie when it comes out, be sure to fill that bar. And then I'll review that Monkey movie. If we reach our goal. Sanine says, by the way, can you put your Creature Commandos reaction for YouTube members, seeing as I am not a member on Patreon? Yes, I definitely will. It's going to be... If you click on join right now and have a look, you'll see there's another perk called First Time Watching, or Watch Along. That's the one you're going to have to join if you want to see the my First Time Watching and reactions. Watch Alongs are going to be when we watch along live on YouTube. But if you want all the archive ones, the ones that are of the long movies and long shows... You're going to have to join that tier. And yes, I will bring it over to YouTube. I'm going to start uploading them. All of them. And they'll be there for you to watch that way. So yes, that's on my list of things to do, basically. Oh. Are you interested in the monkey, Eric? Not really, but I've heard some decent reviews so far. It's quite early, but I've heard people say some decent stuff about it. And it's directed by the guy that made Long Legs, so I've not seen Long Legs yet, but that makes it seem like the movie's not going to be just your generic slasher, but who knows, it probably still could be, but we'll see. What's your worst movie of all time, says Gamosaur Rex. I always said it was Cars, because I remember not enjoying that movie at all. There's a Q&A video I did from a long time ago. If you look that up on my channel, you'll be able to see my full reason as to why I don't like it. Okay, we've got 12 more minutes on the stream, and then we'll end the stream. So, like I said, if you have any questions, get them out. And if there's any questions you want to do through Super Chats or Streamlabs, now's the time as well. Because, like I said, 12 minutes, we're going to be out. Goat says, I want to watch The Monkey, but I'm scared to watch horror movies. Fair enough. Nate the Great says, maybe I should ask clearly, what website do you work on for your videos? My guess is WeVideo. What do you mean, what website do I work on for my videos? I work on YouTube, well, unless you're asking something else. Eric, hang on. What is WeVideo? Chris says, I'm seeing Brave New World tomorrow. Not having high expectations, but I'm not expecting anything terrible. That's a fair assessment. I thought the movie was... it's not as bad as the other movies. It's not as bad as the other movies like the Marvels or Thor Love and Thunder and stuff like that. But it's not a good movie like on the level of The Winter Soldier or anything like that either. So yeah. Have you heard of the YouTuber called Mr. Grizzly? I saw him exposing some shills defending Captain America Brave New World. I haven't, but that's interesting. James Gunn inspirations for Superman. Richard Donner's Superman, All-Star Superman, and Zack Snyder at some points, and his favourite superhero movie is Richard Donner's Superman movie. Yeah, I've heard that. Let's hope he does a good job. Goat says, when Red Hulk jumped at Sam Wilson at the beginning of the fight, it looked like he was giving him a hug. It looked like he was trying to basically smash him, no pun intended. And yeah, there was no way Sam should survive an action sequence like that. Manola says people were saying the movie was mid. Oh, hi Manola, by the way. Thanks for joining the stream. Sonic says, forgot to mention, but when I watched Brave New World, I bought a helmet bucket that Sam wears in the film that you can use as a popcorn bucket. Oh, interesting. A helmet bucket. That's interesting. I didn't think they had that, those kind of popcorn buckets there. I thought they had like a Red Hulk popcorn bucket, but I didn't know they had a Sam Wilson one as well. Ooh, Big Bash says, who do you think is more menacing, Eric? Vilgax or 2003 Shredder? 2003 Shredder, for sure. Vilgax is very threatening, though, as well. Manola says, I've been here for a little while, lol. Well, I must have missed one of your comments. I'm sorry if I did. The G-Gamer says, in the climax of the movie, when I watched it, kept in mind of what you said of Sam Wilson taking hits from Red Hulk. Oh, you kept that in mind when you watched it. Yeah, but thing is, you don't need me to tell you that. That's just like common sense. People would know that humans can't take on a Hulk. It's hard. It would be hard enough for a super soldier to take on the Incredible Hulk, but a human? That is ridiculous. Goat says, will you buy 1943 Rise of Hydra? Well, Amy Hennig is behind it. That's the only reason I was interested. But we still need to wait and see. There's no gameplay or anything out for it. I hope it's good. Big Bash says, who's your favourite Ben 10 character? Ben 10. That's good, funny. If you feel like you have to rework on it, that's good. Sinead says, did you see the series Modern Family? I think I've heard of that. That's got a lot of seasons, hasn't it? But I don't think I've seen it, no. I haven't. I've been watching Young Sheldon and stuff like that personally, like in that area. If I'm getting it right. Cole says, "Hey Eric, sorry I just got here. No problem, Cole. You can rewatch the stream if you want to know what my thoughts are on these stories. But thanks for joining. Now I'm still glad you were able to jump in and say hi. I appreciate that." Electrify says, "What are some of your other interests other than movies?" Well, I like gaming. Um, Other hobbies. I like gaming. I used to always like playing basketball. I also I really have a fascination for music. Like I've always really liked just how music works. I also have fun editing, so I always try to find a way to improve my editing skills. And I also go on long walks and things. And I like to lately I've been traveling more. I went to a concert last week, an Avatar: The Last Airbender concert, which was so much fun. And if you're a patron, I'll show you a bit of a recording of the performance when I was there, and I shot it in 4K, so you'll be able to see that as well. You have to be a free member to see it as a patron, and you can be a paid member and you'll also see it. So be sure to join in for that. That will be something for you to see. Because they usually don't let you record any of those performances. So yeah. The Time Shadow says... Ooh, hang on. That was £2, not $2. £2 says, "How do you feel about all of us as content creators?" Well, it depends. If you've released any content, then I can judge it. But from some of you that have released content, you've done a very good job. From those of you that have, and you've asked me to check out your channels, you've done a very good job. Very, very good job. Sinead says, "It is a bit like Young Sheldon, but so much better. But stop watching it from season 6 because then it gets bad." The thing is, Modern Family, I think it just kept on going, but Young Sheldon at least knew when to stop. And plus, there's just something so warm and wholesome about Young Sheldon and the actors they got to play all those roles. So that's one of the things I like about it a lot. Goat says, "Most anticipated games coming out this year. Mine are 1943 Rise of Hydra, Doom, Dark Ages, and WWE 2K25. I bet you, Goat, that 1943 Rise of Hydra is going to get delayed. I've not heard of it coming out this year, and if they say it is coming out this year, I don't buy it. We've not seen nothing of it yet. All these gaming events, and they've not shown any of it. That means to me, I think it's not ready. Cole, I've not seen Fallout. It's made by Jonathan Nolan, though. At some point, I probably will, but I haven't got the time right now. Which Superman voice is deeper, David Corenswet or George Newborn? I'd say George Newborn from the animated series and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I need to hear more of David Corenswet in the actual movie, like proper dialogue from him, not just him like struggling to speak like he did in the trailer. I need to see like a proper speech from him. Sinead says, "Also, what did you think of the Creature Commandos? I think episode 3 and 4 are the best, and episode 2 and the finale are the worst." Well, watch my videos coming out, then you'll know what I think. I'll release it on YouTube memberships for you. Then you can watch it there as well, and then you can let me know what you think in the comments of those videos, and we can have a chat. Gamersaw, "I loved that show. Thanks for mentioning it," says Chris. "What show?" "Hey Eric, have you seen TMNT 2012? And if so, what is your rating?" Yes, I did. I did watch it. Yes, I did watch that Turtles show. And I really watched it because I wanted my younger brother, who was very young at the time, I wanted him to have a Turtles show to grow up watching, because I grew up with the 2003 show. And we watched it up till like season 2, episode 17, 18, then we just never continued it, unfortunately. But yeah, that was a good show. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was good, but maybe it's because I didn't continue watching the rest of it. I know something tragic happens later on, so that's kind of cool that they were able to do that. Nate the Great says, "When I went to the movies for my birthday, I saw a Red Hulk popcorn bucket and wanted to buy it, but I didn't." Sanid says, "You should do a reaction to Young Sheldon." There's too many episodes to do a reaction to Young Sheldon. And Young Sheldon I usually like to watch when I have like a cup of tea or something, and I relax, when I'm taking a break. It's not something I like to associate with work. It's something I like to chill and watch with the family, or watch on my own when, I need some quiet time. G Gamer says, do you buy exclusive popcorn buckets or no? I did want to buy the Wolverine popcorn bucket when I went to go see Deadpool Wolverine. I even asked them if they have it, and they said they didn't, my theater. So I was kind of out of luck on that one. Also, guys, if you want that monkey review, you've got... we got to get that up by £47. That'll be the goal, and then I'll be able to do it. So time is running low on it, but let's see if anyone at the last minute wants to fill that bar up there. Like I said, it always gives extra support to the channel, which with YouTube's with YouTube's unreliable monetization system, it's always hard to make a living on this platform. But if you feel it, it will help to support the channel, and it'll be me giving you something in return, because I always like to give you guys something in return for your donations and for your support of the channel. Goat says, what are your top 3 favorite sports? I don't really have top 3. I played basketball when I was younger, and I also played squash. You call it racquetball in America. So I'll say those. And I always loved watching snooker on TV. I also watch, but I was never really a fan of watching sports on TV, but I did like watching tennis on TV. That was very relaxing. So there's that as well. Khan says, so how many minutes left before the stream ends? 1 minute. 1 minute and the stream ends. Big Bash says, Eric, what is your thoughts on the Ed, and Eddie Big Picture Show movie? I loved that movie. That is like one of the only Cartoon Network shows of the time to get a definitive conclusion. And it was amazing. I loved... My voice is going, man. I loved it. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Like, that was the perfect way to end an amazing show. I'm so glad they were able to have the time to do it. Goat says, why do you have the number 12 in your username? The reason I have the number 12 in my name is because when I was younger, I wanted to call myself eCartman1, because that was just how usernames were done back in the early days of YouTube, like in 2006, 2007, 2008. But it said I couldn't use eCartman1, so I was like, alright, what should I do it then? Then I did eCartman1 too. And it worked. People like, it worked. YouTube let me put it in, and I just used it from that point on, and to me, I've always liked it. But then I changed it to Eric Carter when they allowed you to do those changes. Sania Doyle said, I also watched all of The Big Bang, but like Modern Family, it gets bad at the end. Electrify says, see you later, Eric. I'm gonna have a niche. Oh boy. See you later, Eric. I'm gonna go. Have a nice day. That's what you're saying. Okay, have a nice rest of your day. No problem, buddy. We're gonna end the stream right now as well. So you have a nice day as well. Thanks for joining the stream, and thanks for becoming a YouTube member as always. I always appreciate that kind of support. So thank you very much. Yeah, it's okay, Elite. Yeah, that happens. Don't worry about it. Alright, so guys, that is basically it. I think we're gonna call it a stream. I really appreciate all you guys coming down to watch. I really do. I had a great time. Hope you guys had a great time too. Hope there was new information here that you guys really managed to take advantage of, or that you really appreciated. And yeah, stay tuned. I've got my Captain America Brave New World review coming, and when it comes, please do give it a thumbs up, because thumbing up videos really does help recommend them on the algorithm, and I would really appreciate if you guys could do that. So thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it. We didn't get to reach this goal, but it's okay. Hopefully one day we'll reach another goal. And yeah, thank you very much for everything. I had a great time with this stream. Hope you guys had a great time. And I'm going to get back to making more content for you guys. So thanks again for joining, everyone. I'll catch all of you next time. Take care.